Welcome to Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy and this is my channel all about cross stitch. This is Flosstube number 26. It is March 30th. I have tomorrow off, so I'm going to do my wrap up for March Madness today. The weather is a little out of the ordinary today. We had 50 degrees yesterday. Now it's sleety and snowy, and when I went to work this morning there was a sheet of ice on my car and I had to break into my car because everything was frozen shut. I didn't break my car, just the sheet of ice on top of it. So that was an interesting morning start. So let's see, what do I have for you today? Well, welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you've been here before. I had my interview last week and I got the call on Monday that it was a no-go. I kind of expected that. I was struggling with my words that day. I think I was suffering from some brain fog. But there are other jobs to apply for. I'm also looking in to get my science licensure to teach high school science. So I need to apply for the local college to do that, since they have one of the programs that is accepted by the Minnesota Department of Education. So I'll be doing that soon. I've got my final observation schedule for this week, which is going to be interesting because there's no school. Monday I have my pre-observation meeting. Tuesday I get my eye shot on Wednesday after my observation, and then I have my follow-up meeting the day after. So I might have to get my husband to type up my notes for me on my reflection, because I won't be able to see anything after my eye shot. I didn't think about that when I scheduled it, and I realized it this morning. I was like, oh crap. But I will persevere, and maybe I can get part of it written before my eye shot. So I have a few pieces. Because it was the end of the month, I did several of my projects a couple of times this week because I was down to like the last 4. So, but first, before I get to my March Madness stuff, I have a fully finished object. So this is the Boo bookmark that I received from Povitrulya Handmade. It had great directions, including on how to do the buttonhole stitch, which I'm not very good at. So, and it came with it, and I did not, and I know you can see through, but I didn't put a piece of cardboard. I didn't want my bookmark to be that thick and damage the binding of any book that it might be used for. So it's very floppy, but I just don't like the thickness that the cardboard would have done for it. So that is my finished object for the month. I didn't even have to do a finished object this month, but it was just too easy. I also have a new start. So originally I had scheduled to do some Christmas gift tags for one of my starts in March, and my husband's been asking me to get started on this for a long time, so I skipped ahead because I was going to do this in October to starting Dead Outlaw by Nightspiritstudio. It is on 14 count pecan by fabricflair to match the female cowboy. And whoops, let me fold it so you can actually see. This is my teeny little start. There's only officially 6 colors in this. I will do the same thing I did with the female and like change the bell to a sparkly thread and do a few of those things. Sorry, bird just flew by. Squirrel, you know how it goes. So I'm hoping to get a little bit more done on this maybe soon. I do love this pecan fabric. It makes me think of like tumbleweeds and deserty stuff. So that was my new start. I started that on the 25th. And I look forward to having that match set to get them done. And I will share a little bit of a haul later. I don't have very much, but I did get a couple of things to make some more project bags. This is my first whip for you this time around, is the Old World map by Hay. This was started on the 15th of this month. It's on 25 count Lugana. It's got 90 colors and I'm doing it 1/1 on a UFO. So I'm going to work I don't usually start in the top left, but one of the reasons I did was because My UFO is here, and that's so many stitches. I don't even want to think about it. It was one of the first patterns I designed with a pattern maker. With a pattern maker, and it was a really crappy picture. I never should have used it, but I was so excited. I wanted to do some sort of stained glass thing, and it was an ad, and there was crap behind. Should never have turned it in, but I didn't know. I still would like to do a cool stained glass, and I was trying to use sparkly thread on the glass part to make it shiny, and I decided I didn't like the way it was looking, and I've gotten much better. So I've gotten quite a bit done. If you look here, you can start to see some of the branches in the corner. There's a tree here, and you can start to see it just a little bit. I'm liking the 1/1 stitching, though when I'm really close to it, I can see little bits of white coming through. And I think that I don't know, I can't do it because I got some light stitches. I was like, I'm kind of wishing I had maybe tea dyed this or something to give it more of an old map feel to it before I started. But oh well, it'll work still. I can always get a mat to cover up the part. And if you look really closely, I did a pencil mark to start because I couldn't find any of my pens, disappearing pens. So, but pencil will wash out, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, it's looking good, and I've gotten quite a bit done. I am, according to Pattern Keeper, I'm at like 0.89%, so not even a full percent yet, but good progress since I just started it at about midway through the month. All right, the one I'm most excited about this month is my Halloween fairy. I have gotten so much done on her, and I'm actually supposed to work on Old World map today, but I decided I'm just not going to because I want to work on a couple of my weeklies to finish up my 2 weeklies that I haven't finished with the projects that were part of my March Madness. So I'm putting Old World map aside because Halloween Fairy is getting closer to a finish, and so I want to put that put her as a top priority, and she's just looking so pretty. Unfortunately, I don't have one of the Krynics and 123 stitches out. Michael doesn't carry them. Joann's is out of business, and I think all the Krynics were gone. All the metallic Krynics were gone anyway. I've got to check Welcome Stitchery and Black Cat Stitchery, the 2 closest needle shops to me. Black Cat Stitchery is in Wisconsin, which is next door, but it's actually only a 2-hour drive, where Welcome Stitchery is a 3-hour drive, even though it's in the same state. So I've got to see, and there's no threads listed on Black Cat Stitchery's website, so I'm going to have to call them, and then maybe reach out to Welcome Stitchery and see if I can get it shipped. I was thinking about using an alternative, like maybe some blending film, because it's for the spider webs. And I'm also going to pull out my magazine that I got this from, because I did a colored copy of it and printed it out, but now that it's been printed out for a little bit and I've got some highlighter on top of it, I can't always tell what color the things are, so I want to double check before I start putting in the back stitching. So this is Halloween Fairy. I do have her head done, but I'm not taking her out. So look at that. I even got the red, shiny red stitches, and the pumpkins are done, and I got part of one of her leg. So my goal is to keep working on her. I think the pumpkins look gorgeous on this yellow. I'm gonna work my way up, and next, after I get her feet done, I think I'm gonna try to get up towards the moon, which is gonna be trickier because there's a lot of skip counting that I'm gonna have to do on 2/2. But this is by Nora Corbett. I got it out of a magazine from long ago. I know she has another one called Halloween Fairy. So sometimes this one is called Autumn Fairy, or I don't even remember, but I just love how the pumpkins have turned out, and the sparkly thread. That green is gorgeous. The Trick or Treat is in a dark purple. If you look very closely, can you see them? Not on camera so much, but there is some sparkly red dots in there in the brown. And I got all the way over with this color over here, so that's the other edge of her skirt. And then so I'm going to work on my, because tomorrow's Monday, and it's the last day of March Madness, and today's my last day for my fandom stitches for the week. So I'm going to take out the 2 projects that I assigned to those prompts. And then tomorrow, after I do my prep for my observation, I am going to pull her out and get as much done on her in March as I can. I am so looking forward to it. She's going to be beautiful. All right. Now, I don't have as many different projects because March Madness, and I was down to like the last 6. And I got a little burnt out on my Frogworts piece. I love Harry Potter's story. There are some really interesting things on this design, but this is not my preferred style. So I think it's adorable, but it's probably not anything I would normally do. The only reason I joined Frogworts was it was Harry Potter and I wanted to do a retreat. And there's some really pretty stuff in here, but it's still, again, not my style. So, excuse me. I got a little bit more done on here. I focused mostly on my diamonds down here, and I got a little bit, excuse me, of the maze done. There's a toile for the different color flames. They did not suggest a toile for the Quidditch hoops, but I did. Actually, I think they did. So that is not a ton of progress. It's just the diamonds. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. Nothing like the burn of a caffeinated beverage, is there? All right. And then my other piece that I worked on for March Madness this week was my Overlook Cell by Robin Allen, who is now a Stitch in My Side on Etsy. And I do have the It Cell as well. But I got quite a bit done on this room here. And I do have the tricycle that Danny rides is supposed to be in 950 E950 by DMC. It's the glow in the dark, and it's in another one of my projects, so I didn't pull it out. But I got most of the carpet done, that famous carpet. I love it. So, like, not my personal style, but it's so iconic. I love it in the movie. I would never put it in my house, but look at that. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's some sirens outside, so things are so icy out. I will expect car wrecks today. So that is all my stitching. I wasn't planning on doing any haul, but I did get some fabric. It's just, I'm going to be making some project bags. And I did discover today that Michael's doesn't have 16-inch zippers, at least not my location. It has 14 and then 22. So I had to go get some fabric. I'm going to grab it real quick. Sorry for the wrinkly of the bag. But I'm going to make this. I wanted to make it a little bit bigger project bag, but because I didn't have it, there was no 16-inch zippers, I'm going to have to keep it a 14-inch project bag. And then I'm going to do just plain red on the inside. So I have this, which is adorable. I love sea creatures. And I was going to use this to make the zipper. It's leftover shiny blue from my quilt that I made, but I needed an interior fabric and nothing I had worked. So Michael's had this, so that's going to be the inside. That will also be a 14-inch bag because, again, only 14-inch to 22-inch zippers, so I'll have to size it up. But I got this. This was what was left of this fabric. I don't even know how many yards. I think it's over. I had to buy a minimum. So I've got a bunch of yardage of this Batman fabric. Check it out. So I've got enough of this to easily make a 22-inch wide bag, and then it'll have to be 19 inches deep to keep the proportions. So all of my fat quarter pieces like this are 21 by 18, so just a teeny bit too small. I guess I could cut down the zipper to 21 inches and then just do 18, but then, like, what if it's not straight? It could screw me up and you might get salvage. So I just got some black to go inside this, but I'm gonna make a 22-inch project bag out of my Batman fabric. And then I'm hoping I can figure out something to make for my husband with that. And then I got some matching zippers, and I got some more of these because I think the 12 worked fine with the 14-inch, but I think for the bigger bag it might be a good idea to have some more clippies to hold it in place. That is really the only haul I have, is just to make some project bags. So when I get done here, I've got some grading to do. And then after I get done grading, I'm going to bake my husband some sugar cookies. I am going to cut out my pieces, and then I will sew them together in the morning before my husband gets up, hopefully. But yeah, so I should have some new project bags to show you. Sorry, putting that out of the way. Next week, my plans, because it is almost April. So I am still doing Whip Go. Luckily, it's pretty easy to fit that in. With the prompts, I can work it out. I did finish my In Fandom Stitching Central. You pick 25 projects to do 2025 stitches on. I hit that with Frogwarts over March Madness, and I am just over 100 away from that with Halloween Fairy. So both of those goals will be done. For Whip Go this month, for April, it was number 4 and number 10 for me. That is cliffhanger for both of those numbers, so that means I will work on my cliffhanger project for 4 days in April. I still have 1 day in March that I'm supposed to work on my wisdom stocking, and I might do that partly tonight maybe, or do it partly tomorrow, or I might just do it sometime during April. The projects that I'm going to work on today for my things are Letters from Hogwarts by Cunning Cross Stitch and my Seductive Kermit that my friend asked for. So April, I will be going back to my focusing on my weeklies and doing my 50 starts. I think I am going to alter the way I was doing it. I had a whole calendar planned out and everything, but what I might do is anything I have enough supplies to start on, I'm probably going to see if it will fit one of the weekly prompts and start it as soon as it does, and it might be a teeny tiny start like on Dead Outlaw that you just saw. My plans are nebulous and very subject to change. I'm distracted by the fact that it's almost April and we've got sleety snow outside. They were on one of the weather apps. It was talking about how, there's a little bunny, and now my cat's going to freak out. That we're going to have all 4 seasons of weather in Minnesota this weekend. Like temperatures, we're going to have hot. So it is crazy weather. But I really need to be reminding people what I'm stitching stuff on. So I did it with Dead Outlaw. I'm going to go back now because my brain is fried. Halloween Fairy is on 32 count Yellowstone by needleblingdesigns, who now owns Black Cat Stitchery. My Frogwarts is on 36 count Stonewash by Seraphim. And my Overlook is on 32 count Belfast Linen by Stormy Clouds. So I get in a rush, and I shouldn't, but I heard my husband moving around, so now my brain's like, you gotta hurry up and finish and get his coffee ready. And I don't have to get his coffee ready. I try to because of his pain, and he doesn't expect me to. It's not like, but I feel like I should help out and get his coffee ready. and I need to have my lunch, and I need to grade papers, and I probably should do some cleaning. So I'd rather just stitch and have a maid, but I can't afford a maid, and yeah. So, all right. So again, nebulous plans subject to change. What I've been watching and reading, we just finished last night The Gates of the Feral Gods by Matt Denneman. That's Dungeon Crawler Carl number 4. Carl is an agent of change, is all I'm going to say. It's still funny, but the stakes are definitely getting higher, and he is out to take care of some business. That was really good. I'm almost finished with a book called Temper that I won from Goodreads, and I should show you. This isn't cross stitch haul, but I won this book from Goodreads as well. It arrived in the mail yesterday. It is all about black-owned bookstores, and I have another one that arrived too. So this will be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, and there's some really good pictures in it. So there's that. We've been, let's see, did I mention this one last time? I can't remember. No, I didn't. We found a new British show that is also an Irish show. It's called, maybe I did. Feels like I did mention. Last One Laughing. If I mentioned it last week, oh well, I'll mention it again. It is where 10 comedians are put in a room together and they have to try to make each other laugh without breaking up themselves. And they have 6 hours. And yeah, it's really fun, and it's nice to have a break from all the seriousness of stuff. And then we also watched another movie called The Parenting, which is a horror comedy. It has, as the parents, it has Edie Falco, Brian Cox, Lisa Kudrow, and Dean Norris. So Edie Falco's from The Sopranos. Brian Cox has been in like everything ever. Of course, Lisa Kudrow, Friends, Phoebe. And then Dean Norris, who was the brother-in-law in Breaking Bad. They are the parents, and the story is that this gay couple, these two men, are wanting to introduce each other to their parents. So they're doing it all at once. So both the parents are meeting each other for the first time, and both of the men are meeting their partner's parents for the first time. They find this big mansion on like a Airbnb type site, and they rent it. But it's haunted, and they don't know this. And the person who is renting it to them does, and that's Parker Posey. It is really funny. Apparently some people walked out of it. I don't know why. It really wasn't that scary. There's a few jump shots and there's some tension, but like, I'm trying to think, was it even that great? I don't know, but it was really good. It was hilarious. Brian Cox's range is amazing, and I think that's why the movie worked for me. And if you watch it, you will understand. But I do recommend, if you like horror, if you like comedy, this is awesome. It was funny. It was entertaining. You kind of like the people sometimes, and you kind of didn't like real people. So that was watching, reading. Next is shout-outs. I've been trying to make more time to watch Flosstube. Again, I tried to do that when my husband's not up because he's not interested in watching Flosstube. I got caught up on the 310 Stitcher Jade. And she is playing a Monopoly game this year with the 303 Stitcher, who I believe is Jen. I haven't watched any of Jen's Flosstubes, but I should check them out. And then I also got caught up with a few of my regulars, like Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole, things like that. People like that. then I found two new Flosstubers, and one of them has like 60 subscribers and the other one has thousands. But both of them are just on their second videos. My first one for you is Charlie Stitches. I will put a link to their channel below. She's from the UK. She's a new stitcher, only been stitching since January. Right now she's focusing on these little, she's making, taking characters from some of her favorite video games and some movies and stuff and making them into little magnets. She's also got a few bigger projects. Her first finish was the dandelion silhouette. I can't remember the name of it. It was in Just Cross Stitch, and she's using the Libby app to access cross stitch magazines and making stuff from those, which is awesome. I've done the same. I just have a subscription, so I just use it for back catalog stuff. She's also started the black work turtle. So that is actually on my list as well. It's actually one of my planned starts for this year, along with the shark and the octopus. But now I'm torn because next month, the World of Cross Stitching will have a dolphin in the same series. So now it's like, okay, do I get more fabric to make a fourth one? Because I was thinking a triptych, and put a frame that looks like a ship porthole or steering wheel. And now there's a fourth. So now I'm not sure which ones I really want to do. I love dolphins, but I also love sharks and octopus and sea turtles. So I might just have to get more fabric and do all four. And I haven't done black work before, so it will be an experiment. And then my other new Flosstuber for you, and since he has thousands already, you probably already know him, is Jason Cross Stitches. He is new to stitching too, like just about a year into it. He's got 2 videos. He's got tons of projects already. He does a lot of sampler stuff, but there's some other things as well. He says that every March he chooses something to do. He has a day of opportunity that he chooses something that scares him and does it anyway, which is why he filmed his first Flosstube, which I think is awesome. And he just put up another one like 3 days ago, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet. And he's already diving into altering patterns and making personalizations, not the mistake personalizations, the real personalizations where you change the floss color and stuff. So he's already doing that stuff, which is great. I did not have that bravery that quickly into my stitching time. So that is all I got for you. I am looking forward to my day off tomorrow, even though I have to do some work stuff. I am looking forward to real spring instead of this mishmash that we are having outside with the sleety snow. And there are, what was it, on Wednesday there were 44 days of the school year left, so I now have like 42 or 41. Excuse me. Next weekend I don't have to work at my part-time job on the weekend at Michael's, so I am probably going to focus in the mornings on applying for jobs for next year, applying to go to college again, which I'm not sure I want to do. I just the easiest way for me to find out what courses I need are to apply and see what's left when they get my transcript and how many classes I would have, and if it's really feasible. And then if I think it might be feasible, then I'll probably talk to my boss and see if there's any chance they could increase the chance of me getting brought back if I actually enroll to get my license. But I want to see if I can mentally handle the load before I talk to my boss. Maybe a lot going on in my life soon. But I got to reorganize stuff, put away the projects. Ooh, gosh, stop talking when you've got your hand in front of your face, but my nose was super itchy. So got to put away my projects that I'm not going to be working on next week yet, and get out the projects that I want to work on today after I do my grown-up stuff. And We're going to watch a movie with the kid later. I have nothing else for you. I would love it if you liked, commented, subscribed. Let me know what you're working on. If you're working on any of the same projects as me. If you have any super cool nerdy stuff that you're working on or horror themed stuff, I'm always up for that stuff. And I will leave you for the day with, I hope today was kinder to you than yesterday, and may tomorrow be kinder to you than today. Have a great time stitching. Bye.